France, where every corner oozes charm and elegance. It's no wonder it holds the title of the most visited country in the world. With its irresistible mix of bustling cities, breathtaking mountain ranges like the Alps and the Pyrenees, and a coastline that dreams are made of. France truly has it all. Here you will find some of the finest foods and wine known to humanity. And let's not forget about luxury. Did you know that some of your favorite high-end brands like Dior, Chanel, and Louis Vuitton come from this country? The French are also masters of innovation. They are the brains behind the stethoscope, Braille for the blind, the hairdryer, and even the cinema itself. But there are so many more exciting things to discover in this enchanting land. So join us as we uncover some amazing facts about France. Trust us, you won't want to miss it. 1. France, officially known as the French Republic, is located mainly in Western Europe. It extends to overseas regions and territories across the Americas and the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. 2. France has quite the history, and believe us when we say it goes way beyond the charming landscape. Back in the 1700s, things were really heated up in France. We're talking about the French Revolution, a decade-long roller coaster ride from 1789 to 1799. It all started on July 14, 1789, when a group of rebels decided they had enough and stormed the Bastille, a notorious prison. France was in complete chaos. Debt crisis, terrible weather, poor harvests, and even skyrocketing bread prices. But amidst the chaos, something remarkable happened. The French Revolution reshaped everything. No more monarchy, no more feudalism, and no more absolute power for the Catholic Church. They even took a stand against slavery and fought for women's rights. The French Revolution was the basis for the France motto Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, which translates to liberty, equality, and fraternity. 3. The Palace of Versailles is a beautiful attraction just outside of Paris, and honestly, you won't find anything quite like it anywhere in Europe. This place is all about jaw-dropping beauty, rich history, and pure extravagance. It's been receiving visitors since 1793, with about 15 million people stopping by every year. Once you're inside, prepare to be amazed. From the luxurious apartments of the King and Queen to the majestic Grand Chapel with its stunning ceiling and golden organ, and, of course, the famous Hall of Mirrors. There's so much to take in. But here's the thing. The palace is just the tip of the iceberg. The estate spans over 2,000 acres with even more treasures waiting to be discovered. Explore the Grand Trianon and Petit Trianon. Stroll through the vast gardens filled with statues and fountains, or take a leisurely boat ride on the Grand Canal. And there's even a replica French village where Marie Antoinette used to hang out with her friends. 4. Let's talk about a really bizarre chapter of French history. In 17th century France, impotence was considered a crime. Yep, you heard that right. Back in the day, men could actually be charged with a crime if they were unable to perform in the bedroom. As a matter of fact, if a husband was deemed impotent, his wife could file for divorce. But wait, it gets even crazier. If the husband objected, the only way to settle the matter was to actually demonstrate his abilities in front of a judge. A really awkward situation. Thankfully, sanity prevailed, and this absurd law was abolished in 1677. So the next time you think your love life is complicated, just be glad you're not living in 17th century France. 5. The iconic Eiffel Tower stands tall and proud as one of the world's most famous landmarks. It's the ultimate symbol of romance and innovation, representing everything magical about the City of Light. But here's a fun fact for you. Believe it or not, when the Eiffel Tower was first built, it received a ton of hate. Locals actually thought it was downright ugly. And get this, even Adolf Hitler himself wanted it gone during the Second World War. Can you imagine? He ordered its destruction, but thankfully, his plans were sabotaged. But you know what's even more amazing? Despite all the obstacles, the Eiffel Tower has stood tall through it all. Today, it's one of the most visited landmarks on the planet, attracting millions of tourists each year. 6. The French colonial empire had a really big impact on the world's history. In the 19th and 20th centuries, France was the second biggest colonial empire, trailing only behind the mighty British Empire. They covered over 13.5 million square kilometers of land by the 1920s and 30s. That's a whole lot of territory. Now, France had colonies in Africa, Asia, Southern Europe, the Northern and Southern Americas, and even within the icy walls eyes of Antarctica. But here's something really interesting. After the Second World War, France started welcoming people from all over the world, and today, about 10% of the population are all from different ethnicities, and we can see that play out even in their national football team. For example, Kylian Mbappé has roots in Cameroon and Algeria, and Paul Pogba is of Guinea heritage. Don't forget about Karim Benzema, who is from Algeria. 7. Let's talk about Carcassonne, a charming hilltop town right in the Languedoc region in southern France. This town is a complete wonderland with its majestic citadel having towering watchtowers and strong walls. These walls have stories to tell, starting from way back in Gallo-Roman times and getting major facelifts in the 13th and 14th centuries. Did you know this town started in the Robin Hood series? Carcassonne is also a town embraced by nature. You'll find 3 rivers dancing through Carcassonne, inviting you for leisurely strolls with breathtaking views. You will find several museums here, including one that showcases a dazzling collection dedicated to the Cathedral of Notre-Dame de l'Abbaye. Oh, and did we mention the vineyards? Surrounding Carcassonne are rows upon rows of grapevines just waiting to be explored. Take a sip of local flavors at places like Calmel and Joseph, Chateau de Viltade, or Chateau de Luc. And here's a fun fact for you. Have you ever heard of the board game Carcassonne? Well, it's named after this very town. With expansions, spin-offs, and digital versions galore, it's a game that's as timeless as the city. 8. Ever dreamed of a fresh start in a far-off land? Then look no further than the legendary French Foreign Legion. Since its creation in 1831, the Legion has welcomed souls from all walks of life, offering a second chance to those with haunted pasts. While the doors were once open to misfits and criminals alike, today's Legionnaires undergo a rigorous screening process, ensuring only the most determined and disciplined make the cut. From grueling physical tests to demanding mental challenges, the journey to becoming a member is not for the faint of heart. And here's where France gets truly remarkable. Should fate lead you into battle defending France, you've got automatic access to French citizenship. Wounded warriors are seen as heroes, their sacrifice earning them the esteemed title of French by spilled blood. 9. The French eat 30,000 tons of snails annually. Surprisingly, most of these snails come from Eastern Europe and the Balkans, traveling miles before landing on French plates. Delicately seasoned with garlic, parsley, and butter, snails remain a beloved French delicacy. And get this, French law mandates that snails must have their own tickets to ride high-speed trains. In 2008, a man got fined for sneaking snails onto a train, but the rail company eventually pardoned him. 10. Let's talk about a topic that's sure to make your taste buds dance in excitement. French cuisine, a culinary wonder that's been honored with a prestigious title by UNESCO. In 2010, UNESCO bestowed upon French gastronomy the esteemed status of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. But what makes French food so special, you ask? Well, according to the experts, it's not just about the flavors, it's about the social significance. The best place to experience this is in the city of Lyon, one of France's top food destinations. Even Parisians can't deny Lyon's status as royalty when it comes to great food, where every meal is a celebration of flavor and tradition. Make sure to bring a big appetite and begin your tour in the UNESCO-listed Renaissance lanes of Vieux-Lyon, where you'll discover so many culinary delights amidst the charming surroundings. You'll get a chance to try some of France's most popular foods, such as baguettes, French onion soup, chicken confit, and even fried frog legs, which have been part of the national diet of France for over 1,000 years. 11. France is home to the greatest cycle race, one that has been pedaling its way through history for over a century, the Tour de France. Around 198 cyclists from all corners of the world embark on a long 3,200-kilometer journey across the picturesque landscapes of France. It's a complete adventure spanning 23 days and captivating the hearts of cycling enthusiasts worldwide. In 2013, the Tour de France hit a major milestone with its 100th edition, marking a century of adrenaline-pumping races and heart-stopping moments. And they certainly pulled out all the stops for the celebration, with a 21-stage course that cut through iconic cities and breathtaking scenery. Around 15 million spectators lined the routes, cheering on their favorite riders and soaking in the electric atmosphere. If this is something you want to be a part of, you're in luck. The next Tour de France takes place from June 29, 2024 to July 21, 2024. You don't want to miss it. 12. Here's a fact that art enthusiasts will surely love. The Louvre in Paris holds the title of being the largest museum on this entire planet. And when we say it's the largest, we mean it. The Louvre is seated on a mind-blowing 782,910 square meters of land. That's like trying to explore a small city filled with art treasures around every corner. And speaking of treasures, the Louvre is filled with ancient relics and masterpieces from the 19th century. We're talking about world-renowned pieces like the stunning Venus de Milo and the Mona Lisa, and around 38,000 other jaw-dropping art pieces. You get to experience the best of humanity's creativity all under one roof. 13. Did you know that the French created the art of seamlessly blending into one's environment, otherwise known as camouflaging? Yes, in 1915, the French army led the charge by creating the world's very first dedicated camouflage unit. Now, where did the word camouflage even come from? Well, you can thank the French for that too. It comes from the verb that means to take up for the stage. The stars of this show were called camoufleurs, and folks weren't your typical soldiers. They were artists, masters of blending in and confusing the enemy. The British eventually caught wind of this clever tactic and decided to jump on the camouflage bandwagon. And of course, all the other countries joined the party a bit later. 14. Let's talk about a charming little tradition in France called la Bise. Now, imagine this. You're strolling through the streets of Paris and suddenly someone leans in for a cheek kiss. That's la Bise in action. A delightful exchange of cheek kisses that's like a warm hug in greeting. But here's the fun part. Depending on where you are in France, the number of kisses can vary. It can be 2 in cities like Paris, Bordeaux, and Toulouse, 3 in Montpellier and Marseille, and 4 in places like Nantes. While this whole cheek-kissing thing might seem a tad intimidating if you're not used to it, it is still about showing warmth and connection with others. It's like saying, "Hey, I'm glad to see you," without uttering a single word. So if you ever find yourself in France, don't be shy about giving la bise, and who knows, you might just make some new friends along the way. 15. Calling all wine lovers. Now, France isn't just known for its wines, it's famous for producing some of the finest vintages on the planet. And what other place to enjoy this than the charming city of Bordeaux, France's very own wine capital? From exquisite brutes to elegant pinots and velvety merlots, there's a bottle to fit every taste bud. And here's where things get really interesting. French wines are really expensive. As a matter of fact, the world's most expensive wine purchase to date was a jaw-dropping $558,000 splurge on a 73-year-old French Burgundy. It doesn't matter whether you're a seasoned connoisseur or just starting your journey into the world of wine, France is that one great place to have an unrivaled wine tasting experience. 16. Welcome to the French Riviera, where sun-soaked shores, stunning landscapes, and a dash of glamour await you at every turn. Locally known as the Côte d'Azur on the turquoise coast, this place has been a hotspot for adventurers of all kinds for a long time now. Did you know that the idea for the bikini you love to wear was conceived here? In May 1946, Jacques Helm created a simple two-piece design in his shop here in the French Riviera, and that design has evolved into the bikini we all know and love today. It's safe to say the French Riviera is a haven for creativity, and it's no wonder why you will find artists and writers finding inspiration in its breathtaking beauty, high rollers trying their luck in the famous casinos, and everyday travelers seeking refuge in one of the most enchanting corners of France. And let's talk about those views. With its calm blue waters and limestone cliffs bathed in sunshine, the French Riviera is a feast for your senses. Whether you're exploring the beautiful villages, sipping from the Fontaine de Vaucluse, the largest spring in France, or indulging in some serious retail therapy in Saint-Tropez, there's something here for everyone. And let's not forget about Monte Carlo, where you can try your luck at the tables, or perhaps you prefer the ancient charm of Nice, where history and modernity come together in a beautiful blend. 17. Did you know that France is home to over 40,000 abandoned castles? Back in the Renaissance period, these majestic buildings, otherwise known as chateaux, weren't just fortresses. They were luxurious retreats where the rich flaunted their power and wealth. But many of them are now left to gather dust and cobwebs, sold at bargain prices because, let's face it, upkeep and renovations can be a real headache. Now let's talk about exploring the Loire Valley's castles. Picture yourself cruising through the scenic landscapes on two wheels, thanks to the awesome Vélo Vert network of bike routes. And here's the best part. As you pedal your way through vineyards and countryside, you'll stumble upon 42 magnificent chateaux just waiting to be explored. From the jaw-dropping Château de Chenonceau to the charmingly romantic Château d'Azay-le-Rideau, nestled on its own island, each castle is a glimpse into the lavish Renaissance lifestyle. 18. We all know Paris as the City of Light, but there's way more to it than this. Paris is a city steeped in history and buzzing with urban vibes. Did you know that Paris has roots that stretch all the way back to its days as a Roman town called Lutetia de Parisi? Back then, with its baths, temples, theaters, and forums, this area was considered one of the richest parts of town. Fast forward through the centuries, and Paris has evolved into the vibrant metropolis we know and love today. Sure, you can't visit Paris without checking off the iconic sites, the Louvre, the Eiffel Tower, Sacré-Cœur. Don't forget to leave some time for the city's lesser-known treasures. Take a leisurely stroll through the atmospheric streets of the Marais, where you can explore the free Musée Carnavalet and Musée Picasso. Then dive into the vintage shops of the 10th arrondissement before heading into the bustling Belleville for some fabulous views of the city from Parc de Belleville. You might even find some tourists here wearing the famous beret. For a taste of Parisian greenery, walk the footpaths of the elegant 19th century Parc de Butte-Chaumont, where lush gardens and scenic views await. 19. Let's take a trip back in time to explore the ancient roots of some of France's oldest cities. Topping the list is the enchanting city of Marseille, a true gem founded by the Greeks way back in 600 BC. Its rich history and vibrant culture make it a must-visit destination for travelers seeking a taste of the old life. Next up is Beziers, a city steeped in tradition and known for its wine and bullfights, with origins dating all the way back to 575 BC. And let's not forget Agde, a picturesque port town affectionately known as the Black Pearl of the Mediterranean. Founded in 525 BC, it is filled with charm and character, offering visitors a glimpse into its maritime heritage and timeless beauty. 20. Bastille Day in France is an epic celebration held nationwide on July 14th and is the most important celebration on the French calendar, a tribute to the spirit of liberty, fraternity, and equality. It all goes back to that fateful day when Parisian revolutionaries stormed the Bastille fortress, causing events that would change the course of history. And what better way to honor that revolutionary spirit than with a nationwide party? From bustling city streets to quaint village squares, celebrations erupt all over France. But let's be real. The real magic happens in Paris. You'll find fire stations transformed into all-night dance parties, a massive parade snaking through the city streets, and free concerts filling the air with music. And just when you think it can't get any better, night falls, and the sky comes alive with a dazzling display of fireworks over the Eiffel Tower. For the best view in the house, head to the Trocadero Gardens, the Parc de Belleville, or the Champ de Mars. Or for a bird's-eye view that'll take your breath away, climb up to the Sacré-Cœur or Montparnasse Tower. 21. Get ready for a star-filled affair at the Cannes Film Festival, the best of the movie world held annually in France. This iconic event wasn't just thrown together randomly. It was the brainchild of a French minister of education and fine arts who dreamed of creating an international cultural event to rival the Venice Film Festival. And he clearly succeeded. Every year, over 30,000 professionals from across the globe flock to Cannes, eager to soak up the cinematic magic and showcase their latest masterpieces. And let's not forget the Cinéma de la Plage, an epic open-air cinema where classic Cannes films are screened right on the beach. Picture yourself lounging under the stars, watching cinematic masterpieces like Apocalypse Now and Blue is the Warmest Color, with the waves crashing in the background. So, if you're a film buff with a taste for the glamorous life, mark your calendars for the Cannes Film Festival, which is held from May 15th to May 25th, 2024. 22. The picturesque hilltop villages of the Luberon in Provence, where every corner reveals a scene straight out of a postcard, are sure to leave you enchanted. As you walk through this region, you'll be greeted by terracotta rooftops and honey-colored stone cottages right between pine-clad hills. Vineyards stretch as far as the eye can see, with olive groves and fields of sweet lavender. Step into the wonderful ambiance of the Luberon and embark on a journey from village to hilltop village. Lose yourself in the medieval lanes of some of the most enchanting places in France, each one more captivating than the last. Be sure to add Bonnieux, Gare, Menerbes, Roussillon, and Sagnon to your must-visit list, just to get started. 23. Paris Gare du Nord is the main hub of European railways, where the hustle and bustle never seems to cease. Now, Gare du Nord isn't just your average train station. It's a complete powerhouse, earning its title as Europe's busiest railway station and reigning supreme as the busiest in the world outside of Japan. Every year, a jaw-dropping 214 million passengers shuffle through its corridors, making it a place filled with different activities. The story of this train station goes way back to 1846, where the original station first graced the Parisian landscape. However, as demand grew, so did the need for space, leading to a complete overhaul and rebuild in 1889. From the 1930s to the 60s, Gare du Nord underwent further expansions to keep up with the ever-increasing number of travelers. And guess what? It's not slowing down anytime soon. With the 2024 Summer Olympic Games in view, the station is gearing up for even more growth, with plans to accommodate an additional 200,000 daily passengers. 24. In France, you can't forget the saying, "Till death do us part," during wedding vows because posthumous matrimony is practiced here, making it the world's capital of eternal love. The tradition goes way back, all the way to the chaos of the First World War, where fiancés and girlfriends of fallen soldiers decided to tie the knot with their beloved soldiers even after death. But here's where it gets really interesting. In 1950, the French government gave this whole ritual a legal thumbs up. So now, if you want to marry your dearly departed, you need approval from not just anyone, but also the president and the justice minister themselves. You also have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that your love actually wanted to marry you while they were still alive. 25. Did you know that French was once England's official language? Yes, you heard that right. Way back in the day, from 1066 to 1362, the French reigned supreme in the English courts and corridors of power. It all started when William the Conqueror came onto the scene with his Norman conquest, bringing along Anglo-Norman French for the ride. Suddenly, everyone from royalty to high-powered officials was speaking French. As a matter of fact, some of these people couldn't even string a sentence together in English. But here's where it gets really interesting. In 1362, Parliament put its foot down and passed the Pleading in English Act, making English the official language of the government. Why? Well, it turns out that Norman French was causing quite a lot of confusion in the courts. The common man had no clue what was going on during legal proceedings because, let's face it, the French weren't exactly their strength. 26. Say cheese, because we're about to step into the delicious world of French cheese. With over 1,500 varieties, France is a cheese lover's paradise. No wonder why they rank among the top cheese consumers globally, with over 95% of the population indulging in these savory delights. From creamy camembert de Normandy to tangy Roquefort, French cheeses are as diverse as they are delicious. Each cheese has unique characteristics, from aging techniques to moldy goodness, making every bite a culinary adventure. If you're planning a trip to France, make sure you don't miss the chance to sample these iconic cheeses, and remember to pair them with a glass of wine for the ultimate French experience. 27. Did you know French holds the record for the most time zones of any country in the world? With territories scattered across the globe, France has a massive 12 official time zones. While the mainland European territory sticks to just one time zone, France's far-reaching territories span the gamut, stretching across 12 different time zones, from the sun-kissed shores of Martinique and Guadeloupe to the exotic locales of French Polynesia and New Caledonia. Each region dances to its own beat of time. 28. Pack your bags and get ready to pitch your tent, because we're heading to France's most breathtaking camping spot, the Dune de Pilat. Rising over 100 meters above sea level, this majestic sand dune stands tall as the tallest in Europe, offering amazing views that will leave you speechless. Right against the tranquil waters of the Arguin sandbank, it has gentler waves compared to the rugged Atlantic coast nearby. But it's not just the scenery that will leave you in awe. Dune de Pilat is also a hotspot for paragliders, their graceful flights adding to the already mesmerizing atmosphere. And let's talk about those sunsets. With campsites all around the area, you'll be treated to some of the most stunning views and unforgettable evenings as the sun sets below the horizon. 29. As one of the major players in World War II, France was also one of the largest military powers to come under occupation during the era of the Western Front. And nowhere is this history more vivid than along the storied beaches of Normandy. Trace the footsteps of history along Normandy's wide coastline, where each sandy shore is a reminder of the World War II landings. From the solemn era of the American Cemetery at Omaha Beach to the thought-provoking exhibits at the Juno Beach Center, you can certainly feel the echoes of the past with every step. But the journey doesn't end there. Go further east and discover a 19th century time capsule waiting to be explored in the charming resorts of Cabourg, Deauville, Trouville, and Honfleur. 30. The alpine beauty of Annecy. just at the doorstep of the French Alps, is one that will sweep you off your feet. With its picture-perfect setting and medieval charm, this city is a true gem waiting to be discovered. As you wander through its cobblestone streets, you'll find yourself surrounded by tall, pastel-colored townhouses that overtook the calm waters of the Thiou River and Canal. The quayside cafes also draw you in, offering the perfect spot to soak in the atmosphere and enjoy the moment. Don't miss the iconic Palais de Lille, a medieval castle-turned-museum that stands as a proud symbol of Annecy's rich history. And of course, no visit to the enchanting city would be complete without a stroll along the shores of Lake Annecy, widely regarded as one of France's most beautiful lakes. Which country would you like to hear about next? Let us know in the comments section if you have any facts that weren't mentioned here, and share them with us. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel for more fun facts.